Imagine starting your day, grabbing a coffee, and seeing a fresh deposit land in your bank account without having to clock in for a shift. This is the logic of dividend investing. When you buy shares in a company, you become a partial owner, which entitles you to a portion of their profits. That payout is a dividend. To replace a full-time salary in Australia, a comfortable baseline for many households is roughly $60,000 per year. In a market like Australia's, you can realistically find a portfolio of established companies that pay a combined dividend yield of about 4%. This creates a specific mathematical target. To generate that $60,000 income at a 4% yield, you need a total of $1.5 million invested in the market. For most, this feels like an impossible barrier, a sum a standard salary could never save through simple thrift. But the assumption that you need $1.5 million in cash sitting in your bank account today is the reason many never start. There is a different way to build that capital. Reaching that $1 million mark is rarely about a single large windfall. It is the result of consistent, long-term contributions made over decades. Instead of spending those early, modest dividend checks, you use that cash to buy more shares of the companies you already own. This creates a self-sustaining loop. The shares pay a dividend, which buys more shares, which then pay even more dividends in the next cycle. Over a 20-year window, this cycle accelerates. Growth that seems slow in the first few years begins to curve upward as each reinvested dollar starts generating its own returns. In the later years, the growth of the portfolio is driven more by this internal momentum than by your own monthly contributions. The market itself begins to build the bulk of that $1.5 million for you. Compounding shifts the weight of reaching your target from your savings account to the mathematical engine of the stock market. For investors in Australia, the domestic market provides specific structural advantages that make this strategy particularly effective. This is due to the heavy presence of major banks, mining giants, and diversified ETFs that have historically prioritized high dividend payouts to their shareholders. Australia also utilizes a unique system called franking credits. When a company pays its corporate tax, the government issues a credit to the shareholder for the tax already paid on those profits. These credits are used to reduce your personal tax bill, ensuring you aren't taxed on income the company has already settled with the tax office. By minimizing tax leakage, you keep a higher percentage of every dividend, which increases the total amount available to be reinvested into the market. When you combine these high-yield sectors with the tax boost of franking credits, a contribution of $1,200 a month can grow into that $1.5 million goal over 30 years. For many professionals, this makes the passive income dream a measurable, realistic target. Reaching this milestone means a shift in how you live. You move from a life where you work for money to a life where your capital generates your livelihood. Building a $1.5 million portfolio comes from planting small financial seeds early and allowing the years to do the heavy labor of growing them. Because compounding is back-heavy, the time you lose at the start is the most expensive. Waiting even 5 years to begin can require significantly higher monthly contributions later to reach the same final result. The math of dividend yields and the structural benefits of the Australian tax system have remained consistent tools for building wealth over the long term. While market volatility and inflation will always be factors to navigate, the variable you control most is time. The sooner the cycle begins, the more power the math has to work in your favor.